saved them all. And seconds later, he realized something terrifying. His kindness had just placed him directly in the path of death. Have you ever given everything you had to help others, only to find yourself alone, exposed, and in more danger than ever before? This is a story about the shocking cost of kindness. Deep inside an ancient forest lived a majestic stag. He was not known for the size of his antlers, but for the size of his heart. When a rabbit became trapped in thick thorns, the stag carefully used his antlers to free it. When heavy rains flooded the burrows of field mice, he stood still as a living wall, allowing them to climb onto his back and escape to higher ground. He never asked for anything in return. He helped everyone. Soon, the forest creatures gave him a name. They called him the Protector. One dark afternoon, thick storm clouds gathered above the forest. The wind grew sharp. The river began to rise. That's when the stag heard desperate cries. A family of foxes was trapped on a small island in the middle of the river. The current was violent, too strong for them to cross. They were panicking. The water was rising fast. The stag did not stop to think. He stepped into the river. The cold water slammed against his chest. The current pulled at his legs. Still, he moved forward. He positioned himself between the island and the bank, bracing his body against the force of the water. One by one, the young foxes climbed onto his back and crossed safely. It took everything he had. By the time the last fox reached the shore, the stag's body was shaking from exhaustion, but they were safe. As he dragged himself onto the riverbank, breathing heavily, he didn't realize something else had been watching. The noise, the splashing, the struggle. A hungry lion resting among the rocks nearby lifted its head. At the same time, a hunter, who had long searched for a trophy as grand as the Protector's antlers, heard the disturbance and quietly moved closer. The stag stood up slowly, and then he saw it. Behind him, the raging river he had barely survived. To his left, the lion stepping out of the shadows, eyes locked on him. To his right, the hunter raising his bow, arrow ready. His legs trembled so badly he could no longer run. This was the shocking price of his kindness. His strength was gone, his position was exposed, and now death surrounded him from every side. He had helped everyone, and now there was no one left to help him. For a brief moment, fear rose in his chest. Then, something changed. He looked across the river. The fox family stood there, safe, staring back at him in horror. And in that moment, the fear faded. He felt no regret, only a deep, steady calm. He had chosen who he was. If this is the end, he seemed to accept, then let it be the end of a protector. He stopped fighting the moment. He surrendered the outcome. Just then, the storm reached its peak. As the hunter released his arrow and the lion leaped forward, a blinding flash of lightning tore through the sky. Thunder exploded. The lightning struck a massive dead tree on the hillside above them. With a deafening crack, the tree split and collapsed, crashing down the slope. Logs and debris rushed toward the hunter and the lion. The hunter dove away as his arrow flew uselessly into the air. The rolling logs slammed into the ground, forming a barrier between the lion and the stag. Startled and terrified, the lion turned and fled. Moments later, the storm began to fade. Rain softened. The wind calmed. The stag stood there, trembling but unharmed. The river, once his greatest danger, now protected his back. The fallen trees, once symbols of destruction, had become his shield. He looked at the chaos that had saved his life. It was not random. It was the universe answering his surrender. The stag had paid the ultimate price, offering up his own safety for others. And in that moment of complete surrender, the world itself moved to protect the protector. Now listen carefully. This story is not just about a stag, it is about you. When you help others, life may demand a shocking price. It may drain your energy, expose you, leave you feeling surrounded and alone. You may even feel betrayed by your own kindness. But this story reminds you of something powerful. Your good deed is never the end of the equation. The moment you give your all and release control over the outcome is often the moment the universe steps in to balance the scales. Your sacrifice becomes a signal, and help arrives from places you could never plan, in ways you could never predict. If you are someone who always gives, always protects, always carries more than your share, this story was about you. Comment protector if you felt it, and if this message resonates, share it with someone who needs the reminder, because the price of kindness is not a punishment, it is often the quiet beginning of a miracle.